In Parshas Vayishlach, it speaks about how Yaakov Avinu, after going through everything he went through in the house of Lavan, and he was about to meet up with Esav, he said, "Katointi mikol chasadim mikol v'goymer." Yaakov Avinu said, "I have become small, I've become humbled by all the kindness that Hashem showed me to save me from what went on. Everything went on up till now, and like I'm undeserving of any type of extension of kindness, and that's why I'm begging you, Hashem, to save me from Esav," and so on. So, based on that letter and the connection this has with Yutas Kislev is a very direct connection. There's a very famous letter of the Alter Rebbe printed almost at the beginning of Igeres HaKodesh in Tanya, beginning with this pasuk, that the Alter Rebbe wrote to the Chassidim when he was released from imprisonment after Yutas Kislev. And he was encouraging the Chassidim to be humble in their reaction to the victory and the release of the Alter Rebbe. And the Alter Rebbe explains in his letter that he wrote after he arrived back from Petersburg, where he was imprisoned. And the Alter Rebbe explains as follows: in every kindness that Hashem does for a person, a person needs to be very humble. In other words, the idea of chesed of Hashem should not bring us to haughtiness. Look, you see, I won. Hashem took me out of prison. Hashem gave the right to chassidim, showed that we are correct and right. No, we have to approach it and feel even more humble than we did before. The more a person is closer to Hashem in a more powerful way and higher, so which is all an expression of he's being brought close because he's experiencing Hashem's kindness. So he has to feel himself the more humble, low and low, Kolshu Kamei Yoser, because the more he is before Hashem, the more he's in Hashem's presence. Meaning, this idea of Hashem's kindness is like lifting the person up to be in Hashem's presence and experience Hashem's closeness. So therefore he feels more as nothing and complete nothingness. The closer he is to Hashem. This is the idea of the right in the realm of Kedusha and the kindness of Avram. In Klippa, when there's the level of Chesed, so Chesed leads to arrogance, and the person that either does kindness or experiences kindness, he is very arrogant because of it. Give a look, I have such and such, or give a look, I did such and such. But when we're dealing with the level of Kedusha, when we experience kindness, it makes us humble, which is similar to what Avram was. Avram was Chesed, was the expression of Chesed, received a lot of Hashem's Chesed, did a lot of Hashem's Chesed, and along with that, it said, "Anoichi offer for I am dust and ashes." And the Zem movement from this is understood. So this is primarily the words of the Alter Rebbe over there in the Igeres HaKodesh. So now the Rebbe elaborates upon this. In line 9, Mazem moving for this understood, she'inyan kataynti v'goymer hu inyan klali. This idea that Yaakov Avinu said that I am humbled because I've received Mikol HaChasadim. The Alter Rebbe is basing this on the pasuk. Yaakov Avinu said, I'm humbled from all the kindness. Why does kindness bring to humility? So that he explains. The more kindness I experience, the closer I am to Hashem, the more I feel close to Hashem, the more humbled I am. So this idea of Kataynti, this theme, this concept of Yaakov and what the Alter Rebbe was expressing in Igeres HaKodesh is a general thing. Now, the Rebbe says, in general things, we know that whatever the Avos experienced is considered general for us because it's a signpost for us. So he says, in addition to the fact, all the actions of the forefathers are written in the Torah. They are both a sign and an empowerment for the children. So therefore, all that the Avos experienced, whatever Yaakov Avinu went through, is by its very nature, since he's one of the three Avos, that's already a general thing and a lesson for us and so on. In this itself, yes, shnei inyanim pratim. There are more specific matters, and then there's inyanim klalim, and then there's general matters, and then there's inyanim klalim b'yaiser, and then there's major general things. So even though everything that the forefathers did are a signpost, but there's still what's called details and still general and then very general things. So the Rebbe says that this idea of kataynti is a major thing. The Inyan kataynti, the idea that Yaakov expressed, this humility, Inyan klali b'yoser, is a very general thing. It's from the top tier, the utmost level of the three. Because whoever is closer is more as nothing. Why is it the most general thing of all, or the top tier of general things? Because this is the ultimate goal and purpose of the descent of the neshama into the body. So, like he says, the purpose of the neshama coming down into the body is to be elevated and to be in a state of closeness, till the person becomes absorbed in the body, meaning the entity of the king, meaning to become the closest that they can to Hashem. That's the reason why we descend down here. That's the ultimate elevation in how close one can be, is to reach the stage that's brought down in Kabbalah in the Zohar Lish, to be absorbed and drawn into the entity of the Eibishter. And we said before, that's connected with the bittul of being small. So therefore, since the whole purpose of the neshama is to become part of the king, and the result of being closer to the king is bittul, so therefore, the whole idea of kataynti is a very general thing. Line 19. It's explained in many places in Chassidus. This idea that the chesed of a person, the chesed of Hashem, causes a person to be in a state of bittul, that is a result of the chesed, the way they're in the world of tikkun, the world of atzilus and onward. That is the uniqueness of the chesed of the world of tikkun over the chesed of the world of tayu. Because in the world of tayu we know that even though, as we're soon again emphasized, tayu is also a world of kedusha, on the other hand, they don't have the type of bittul that permeates the world of tayu, that permeates the world of tikkun. Tikkun exemplifies a greater bittul. So in tayu there's the level of chesed, but it doesn't necessarily demand bittul. Chesed going along with bittul, closeness going along with bittul, that's the chesed of the world of tikkun. Let's see the top of page Vav. Yesh loymar, we could say, the intention, what it's brought down in those Mamar Chassidus, is also to the levels of kindness of the world of Tayu, the way they are in the level of Kedusha. Not the way the resulting kindness comes down here in Klippa that came from the world of Tayu, that in Klippa we said kindness breeds arrogance, whether when a person receives kindness in the level of Klippa, or a person gives kindness when he's in the level of Klippa, so then he's egotistical about it. Rather, we're talking about even in the world of Tayu itself, that's still in the world of Kedusha, it's still, the kindness is not linked with bit. Ella, over there in the world of Tayu, even the way it's in Kedusha, over there in the world of Tayu, it's the opposite of the world of Tikkun. Then the world of Tikkun, that the closer something is, the more he is as nothing. Whereas in the world of Tayu, we know each one of them, each one of the spheres was full blown in its particular type of direction to the negation of everything else. That's what caused the breaking of the vessels. Chesed did not tolerate Gvura. Gvura did not tolerate Netzach. Yisai did not tolerate Malchus, and so on. So it was not about Bittul. Well, Pizeh says in line 5, according to this, Yesh Levayr Binyan Tfilas Yaakov. We could explain concerning the tefillah of Yaakov. But he said, he began, before he davened to Hashem, to ask about saving him from Esav. He was returning back to Eretz Yisrael, and he wanted to be protected from Esav. And he started off by saying, Elokei Avi Avram, the God of my father Avram. And then he goes on to say, Katointi, I've become humbled by all your kindnesses. Like it's explained in Torah Oyer, what was the meaning of his addressing the Eibishter as Elokei Avi Avram, etc. So Torah Oyer explains, Yaakov Yispalel Sheyumshach Elav Hamakifim the Kedusha Shala'avos, that he davened that the transcendent levels of holiness of the forefathers of Avram and Yitzchak should come down to him. Lazar loy, that this should assist him. This should also assist him to draw down the transcendent level of the world of Toyu that should become revealed down here. As we know, Chassidus explains that Yaakov Avinu, when he approached Esav and he sent him Malachim, he believed that Esav, whose source was in the world of Tayu, was ready to be misbarer and ready to be joined with the world of Tikkun, which is the ultimate purpose. The Oiris Merubim of Tayu should come down in the Kelim Merubim of Tikkun. The great lights of Tayu should come down in the great vessels of Tikkun. So, since Tayu is a level of Makif, and to draw it down, you need to have very powerful levels. So he wanted to draw down the Makif of Kedusha, of the forefathers. That's what he was davening, Elokei Avi Avram. He wanted the Makif of Avram and Yitzchak to assist him to be able to tap into the Makif source of Esav. And the Rebbe says, this also, just like we said, the Katointi was a very general thing. The same thing Shagamze, he says in the parentheses, line 10, who inyan kloli is a very general thing. Klolis inyan bir ha'olamatoyu, ideal matikun, the general idea of refining the world of Tayu through the world of Tikkun. This is a very general idea. Through refining the world of Tayu and bringing the lights of Tayu into the vessels of Tikkun, we are also elevating the world of Tikkun. Now it engages and receives also from the Oidus of the world of Tayu. Gam lifel bir olam Tayu sheyeh by inyan katainti, that he was also going to affect the refinement of Tayu. That's the whole purpose. And what was he going to bring? That even though the world of Tayu itself doesn't have this relationship of bittul to chesed, in the world of Tayu there's chesed without bittul. Yaakov Avinu wanted the help of the makif of the kedusha of the Avis to help him refine the world of Tayu, that even in the world of Tayu should be the idea of katainti, the bittul, k'may ba'il matikun, like in the world of Tikkun. From Yaakov's perspective, Yaakov was already ready when he sent the Malachim to Esav. He was ready for the birur already. But the lack and deficiency and the problem was from the perspective of Esav, like the Malachim came back and said, you might be ready, but Esav is going towards you with 400 men, meaning he's not holding there by the level that you're holding by. But this dream of Yaakov, this purpose, that the oidus of Toyu should come down to Tikkun, including also that the chesed of Toyu should be in a state of bittul, will be completed in the future time at the conclusion of the refinement of the sparks. Okay, Divrei Yaakov, like Yaakov Avinu said to Esav, when Esav asked him to accompany him, so Yaakov said, I can't go, I have to take it slow because of you can't go too fast for the children, etc. And I'll catch up to you. Ad asher avei el Adoni Seira, until I come to my master at Mount Seir. So we know that Yaakov Avinu never went to Mount Seir. So what does it mean that he will come? And our Chazal explained, brought down in Rashi, on that pasuk, Ad asher avei el Adoni Seira, Yaakov was alluding to the times of Mashiach. That's when he will finally come to Har Seir. Like it says, and the saviors will come, meaning Mashiach will come in the mountain of Tzir to judge the mountain of Esav, and for Hashem will be the rain. As we say at the conclusion of the Haftorah of Parshas Vayishlach. This will be when Yaakov will come to the mountain of Esav. That will be the ultimate refinement, just as it was at the beginning of the creation, before the sin of the Eitzadas. That the world was created complete, perfect. It was created in such a way that it wasn't lacking anything, meaning there didn't really need to be birudim. This idea that the world was created complete, it doesn't just mean physically complete, that there was, fully grown trees and fully grown animals, etc., etc., but it means that godliness was completely manifest in the world. Like it says in the pasuk, I've come to my garden, it's brought down the Medrash, Lignoni, to my place of enjoyment, to my special place, to my place where I was primarily there initially, because the primary place of the Shekhinah was down here below. Only that through the sin of the Eitzadas and the sins that followed it, the Shekhinah left from the earth to the heavens, till the seventh heaven. Afterwards arose the seven tzaddikim, starting from Avram Avinu throughout the 7 generations, until Moshe Rabbeinu, who's the seventh of these 7 tzaddikim, and through their avodah, they drew down the Shekhinah down here below. So when Mashiach comes, we're going to revert to that initial state of the worldly and godly perfection in this world, as it was the beginning of creation. Like we said before, Yaakov, from his perspective, he was already ready for making the unity with Esav, the Yichud of Toyu and Tikkun, and so on. And he wanted to affect this also in Esav, that Esav as well should be holding there. Through 3 things, Yaakov Avinu was preparing himself for his meeting with Esav, through sending him a gift, that was all the different animals that he sent him, through davening to Hashem, and he was also readying himself for war. Like Rashi explains, Yaakov, his that Yaakov prepared himself for 3 matters: to give a gift to Esav, for davening for Hashem's help, and to go to war with Esav. We need to understand what's the idea behind these 3 things. In other words, in their spiritual sense, what do they represent? And also, what's the association one with another? The Rebbe asks some very basic questions. The Lechura, Adrabah, seemingly just the opposite. they're not only don't they have a connection, these are opposite things from each other. A gift shows on kindness and closeness between the two people, the giver of the gift and the receiver of the gift. War shows on the idea of distance, to total this separation. Therefore, what's the connection between these three matters? Ois base, line 19. To be able to understand this, we first have to understand the general idea of drawing down godliness into the world, to make for Hashem a home down here below. Specifically a home. When you talk about a home, not a hotel, not a park bench, not being a guest somewhere, when a person is living somewhere, that's his home, so he's there with all of his matters. In his external aspects, his eternal being, until his entire being is there. That's what it means, being at home and feeling at home. And so too, not just in the general idea of Hashem being in the world, but specifically in the Mishkan, that's called the Beis HaMikdash. So the Eibishter is having a home down here below. He's drawing godliness down here into this world. Like the words of Shlomo HaMelech when he dedicated the Beis HaMikdash. That though the heavens and the heavens of heavens cannot contain you, even this home, meaning he's referring to the Beis HaMikdash, that this home, the Beis HaMikdash, was a home for Hashem's very essence, that the heavens and the heavens of heavens cannot contain you. But seemingly this needs explanation. Like Shlomo HaMelech's wonder, can then it be that Hashem should settle on this earth? The heavens and the heavens of heavens cannot contain you. Can it even be that this home should contain you? In other words, Shlomo HaMelech was wondering about it. How could this be that the Beis HaMikdash should contain the Eibishter? How is it possible that the Beis HaMikdash should be the residing of the Shekhinah and a home for his essence, at the very same time that the heavens and the heavens of heavens cannot contain you? As it's known, that in this pasuk, Shamayim and Shmei Shmayim, heavens and heavens of heavens, so heavens is referring on the world of Atzilus. Like it's explained in the Mamarim on the pasuk, praise Hashem from the heavens, it's referring to the level of Atzilus. Shmei Shamayim, Shlomo HaMelech not going to say the heavens cannot contain you, but it says the heavens of the heavens cannot contain you. In other words, the level that's above even the heavens, which is Atzilus. So Shmei Shemayim Koyal Oilm was saying Sav Shalom Oilm Oilm Atzilus. The heavens of heavens is referring to the infinite worlds that are higher in the world of Atzilus. Even they cannot contain you. If so, this is a wonder and a novel thing. Shadafka Abai says specifically this home will be in such a way that they will contain you, in a way that it's a home, etc. So how could that be? So now the Rebbe is going to go on to explain about in what type of way was Hashem's residing in the Beis HaMikdash. And he speaks about different approaches that's brought down in Sfarim that predated Chassidus, in different Sfarim of Jewish philosophers and so on. Many of the greats of the Yidden explain the way the Shekhinah resided in the Beis HaMikdash was similar to prophecy. In other words, the way Hashem reveals himself in the mind and heart of a Navi via prophecy. That's the same type of way how Hashem reveals himself and resides in the Beis HaMikdash. Shal Zenamar, concerning prophecy, it says, Ubiyad HaNeviim Adame, in the hands of the Nevi'im, I will become likened, similar, meaning Shezeu Rak Dimyon Bilvad. It's only similar. It's not Hashem's very being, not Hashem's very essence. Meaning, Shezeu Mitzad Bechinas Halakus Hamizgal Lenavi. Why is it called a Dimyon? Why is it called only similar? Because the level of godliness that becomes revealed to a prophet, it's not the essence of godliness. It's only a ray of godliness. So first of all, the level of godliness that becomes revealed to a Navi is a low level. It's only a ray. And also from the perspective of the Navi, it's not that the Navi could be a vessel that can really contain prophecy. We'll soon explain what exactly this means. Rather, he is ready for it. He was ready for this. Prophecy does not actually become enclosed in the vessels of his brain and become one with him. And throughout the next paragraph, the Rebbe is going to elaborate on what this means, that he's ready for it, prepared for it, but he's not really a vessel for it. So first of all, he gives an example from the idea that we know that in general it says that prophecy is only once the Yidden entered Eretz Yisrael, then prophecy is only in Eretz Yisrael. There are exceptions, but we're not going to get into that right now. Line 2, similar to the possibility for prophecy that's limited to Eretz Yisrael. Like Chazal say, Eretz Yisrael, Nifsul Kol Arotzis, once Eretz Yisrael was chosen, all other lands became unfit for Nevuah to come down. So what does that mean? Does it mean the physical earth of Eretz Yisrael is a vessel for Nevuah? There's no Nevuah in the vessel of Eretz Yisrael. It doesn't mean that Eretz Yisrael is a vessel for the idea of prophecy. It's rather that the Eretz Yisrael alone is a place that's ready to receive prophecy. The Rebbe gives a classic example. It's similar to writing an idea, an intellectual idea, with the fingers of the hand. Fingers are not containers, are not a keli for the light of seichel. The brain, that's a vessel for seichel, not the fingers. Rather, the fingers are means that are ready to receive the ideas, to channel them. They're only ready that they should be able to channel the idea through them when he's writing it. It's not like the power of intellect. That's in the brain, that's in the head. The brain is a vessel for the light of seichel that's enclosed in it and becomes one with it. As opposed to the fingers of the hand, they're not vessels for the seichel whatsoever. In the fact that they're not a vessel for the intellect, they're no different than the fingers of the foot. No one would think that the fingers of the foot is a vessel for intellect. The same thing, the vessels of the hand are not really a vessel for the fingers of the hand are not really a vessel for intellect. They're only ready to pass through, to channel through the idea. Using all of this information, all these analogies, this is the idea of prophecy according to some opinions. It's concerning prophecy, according to the opinions of these great Jewish philosophers, that the brain is not a vessel for the idea of prophecy. It's only that they're ready for it. Similar to this was also the Beis Hamikdash. It wasn't a vessel for godliness, it's a physical building. How can a physical building be a vessel for godliness? It was only a channel, a vehicle, like the fingers of the hand are a vehicle that could communicate an idea and write it down. Same thing was the building of the Beis Hamikdash. In addition to that, you remember the first thing we said about the Nevuah? That the quality of godliness, the level of godliness is only a ray. The same thing, the level of godliness in the Beis Hamikdash, the level of godliness that would reside in the Beis Hamikdash was only a ray. Just like in Nevuah, in prophecy, it's only a ray of Elokus, not the very essence of Elokus that comes down in prophecy. But tomorrow we will learn that according to Chassidus, it's not that way. It's much more.